everyone, and welcome back to the Aether Hub, the lore capital for Magic the Gathering and all of YouTube. Guys, War of the Spark is here, and spoilers are coming fast and furious, so we have a lot to unpack, and as many videos as there are to come. This one, though, will be a lore breakdown for the official trailer dropped for War of the Spark by Wizards of the Coast. This is our first look at the lore-heavy set, so let's jump right into it. So the trailer starts off with a little mystery right before it actually begins. This is clearly Liliana Vess, necromancer turned black aligned planeswalker, and of course puppet of Nicol Bolas. If you can't tell, yeah, she's on fire, and not in like a metaphoric way. I mean quite literally here. She's in agony, withering away and turning to ash. Just a little tasty taste of what's to come. We get our first look at the big baddie himself, the Planeswalker who's been planning this rise to ultimate godhood for countless generations and impacting the very last several sets' story with his machinations. This is, of course, the best Bolas has ever looked, and that's one thing I wanted to note about this trailer. The CGI and animations are bar none the best Wizards has ever done. Bolas is standing in front of his planar bridge as normal, and yeah, we know what's coming next. From the architecture, it looks like the Eternal, the Bolas' zombified army, are still on Amonkhet, the plane where he destroyed and basically farmed his army from. They're marching towards the planar bridge to enter Ravnica. In the trailer, the way it's shot, it's like going back in time, like it's in reverse. Maybe some Teferi fun, but more so probably just a design choice for the trailer. A choice that I actually love quite a bit. We get to see things happen and how they happened. Of course, we also know the one controlling this Dread Horde, as they've become known as, to the people of Ravnica anyway, this is Liliana Vess. Bolas conscripted her into service despite them being, brutal enemies. Simply put, Liliana has a contract running through her very veins, and Bolas controls that contract. So, if she doesn't want to die, she has to play ball. Guys, Liliana isn't much for charity. She wants to live as long as humanly possible, and that's how she kind of got to this point in her story. So yes, she is playing ball, but is looking for a way out. Maybe even death would be better than this kind of service. We learn more about that as this trailer continues. We also get a fun shot of this Eternal being bolted. Looks like another bolt reprint in War of the Spark, right guys? No, we don't need any more of those. And this isn't bolt, it's something worse. The confirmation of what Bolas wants and how he's going to achieve it. See this sorry sap right here? This is a Planeswalker. At the moment, they lose their spark and are killed. This Planeswalker is Dack Fayden. How do I know that? Well, he's caught red-handed and is a dead giveaway. Speaking of dead giveaways, this Eternal kills Dack Fayden and steals his spark right from his chest, looking to send it to the God Pharaoh himself, Nicol Bolas. It reminds me of wisps from World of Warcraft, these sparky balls. They also can be seen in the basic land art for War of the Spark. So yeah, this is an indication that plenty of Planeswalkers are gonna die. Next, we get a more heartbreaking scene of a mother and child running from the chaos, Liliana looking concerned, and as the pair ultimately die to some falling debris. This is the cost of war, the true cost. Liliana isn't squeamish. She knows well the cost of innocent lives and has never really been troubled by collateral damage. However, this experience here and the expression on her face leaves me reeling. She's struggling with this a lot. Maybe it's because it's not of her control at this point, that these lives maybe remind her of herself and her family and how they've suffered so much through this whole event. Remember, story-wise, this is right after Dominaria, where Liliana finally confronts her past a little bit. Maybe this is too close to home for her right now. At this point, the perspective of the trailer returns to a forward momentum. We get to see things play out at the end and see how things are slightly different from how they appeared in the first run of the trailer. Looking back on those innocents that died, Liliana snaps, and control of the Eternal armies start to change course. The lone defender on the bridge is shown to be none other than Gideon Jura, who was overwhelmed at the start of the trailer. Though his shield probably protected him through the worst of that, he's still overrun. Now, though, Liliana uses her necromancy to command them off of Gideon and towards a new target. Again, with a snap of her fingers, the Eternals turn from Gideon to Bolas himself. Drama. But Bolas doesn't seem very concerned. With a mighty roar, Bolas has his magic of Liliana's pact explode in her very veins. She ignites from within and burns. We don't catch the actual moment of her death, leaving it kind of open-ended to whether or not she actually dies, but still, she got herself in some deep, deep trouble, and that's how the trailer closes. We got a load of information from this trailer, namely the blatant betrayal of Liliana against Bolas. I thought she would be there when Bolas died and played a more subtle role in his demise, as she normally takes things a bit more quiet. Not here though. It seems a more honorable side of her starts to kick in. Seeing the innocent die, Dak Faden die, and Gideon laying down everything to defend the bridge, I think it sparks something within Liliana, and she kind of snaps. But Bolas, being as he is, doesn't hesitate to put her back in line. And let me tell you guys, what a line that is. Burning up from the inside, yeah, not my preferred way to go. So now on to a few notes of the trailer itself. Like I already said, the animation and style is perfect. This is the best they've ever done, and if they continue this way, well, I can actually see this IP doing something in media outside of just a card game, honestly. This is what an MTG movie should actually look like. Please, for the love of God, no live action Bolases, please. On the sound side, well, the sad, slow version of Linkin Park songs, well, it's kind of played out in cliche. It works well here, but that's why it wasn't done in the mid-2000s. A little old and odd feeling, and believe me, I much rather would have had some voiceover work, but it still works, honestly. Unless you hate Linkin Park, that is, then sorry, you're kind of out of luck. But overall, it was beautiful and compelling, and why it's their best performing trailer ever, hands down. That leaves us with what's going on in the larger lore of War of the Spark itself. I mean, the trailer tells us pretty much everything to be prepared for, but not how things are actually going to play out. So it lets us know that characters are going to die, R.I.P. Dak Faden. That characters will evolve, Liliana becoming more honorable and less selfish, and that we can't always expect things to play out the way that we assume them to be. War of the Spark is setting up to be one of the most interesting sets in terms of the story and the lore that I've ever seen. And I really honestly cannot wait to take you guys on that journey here on the Aether Hub. Anyway guys, that's going to do it for our lore breakdown and discussion of the War of the Spark trailer. I highly, highly encourage you to see it if you haven't already, to go watch that full trailer. I have it linked in the description below. It's a treat guys, and I really, really think you're going to like the video. But don't forget, if you like this video, show it some love by liking, subscribing, hitting the bell so you don't miss new videos, and of course, sharing it. A share on Reddit helps more than you guys could ever know, and it's super, super appreciated. You can also support us on Patreon by joining the Vorthos army. You get exclusive giveaways and signed themed bundles each and every month. You can check that link in the description below as well. As always guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time here on the Aether Hub. See ya!